Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Being Louisa. So today's video has been highly requested, like it's been on my to-do list for so long, sorry guys, but I'm finally getting around with it. So today's video is going to be what it's like being a student with a learning disability slash what it's like being a student midwife with a learning disability. So at the end, I'll be kind of customizing it more towards midwifery students, just like little tips and tricks that I picked up on over the last 3 and a bit years of practice and study. But the first lot of this video is literally going to be for any student. So anyone who is going to be a student, either going into university or who is already at university, these are tips for you guys as well, to how to get help and everything like that. So I've got it all written down on my handy dandy iPad. So if you see me looking down, I'm just referring to my notes. But yeah, so let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to start off by kind of telling you a backstory about me if you don't know. So otherwise you can watch the backstory and continue on, or you can just skip to the timestamp, which is here, and that would be the tips and tricks. So I got diagnosed with dyslexia when I started university. I had to fight and claw my way to university to finally get tested and diagnosed. However, I have always kind of known that there was something different about me. I process things differently to most people. I put in the same amount of study or even more, and I would get lesser grades than like my best friend. However, she is just unnaturally smart, so it's kind of annoying at times, but I've learned to love it, and I like always comment her on that, because you should always big up other people when they find things that they're good at. But yeah, at first it was a bit annoying and doing GCSEs and being like, why am I getting lesser grades than you and we're doing the same thing, and I know I comprehend it like you, but yeah, anyway. But like I can tell you from primary school, I knew I was different. I didn't know how to spell certain words, I didn't know like certain things, I couldn't do my times table like everyone could, but I was good at math. Like, it wasn't bad, I just couldn't do certain things. But that's where systemic racism comes in, and some people might say, oh no, that's not true, but I went to a school in a predominantly white area, like literally it's a predominantly white area in my area. I went to primary school there, but I never got any extra help or any testing, and my year 6 teacher, when I got my SATs results, said, wow, I'm actually surprised, don't cry, but you did good. What person says that to an 11-year-old when they get test results? That's just, ugh. Anyway, so that was that experience. Then going into secondary school, I got some help because I was a lovely black lady in like the student services kind of area. So she would give me like off the books help, but I never got any official help because I was in top set for almost everything other than English. Like when I eventually chose Spanish as an option, I was like middle set maybe, but English I was like middle bottom set kind of, like, so it was like quite a few sets, but I wasn't top set for English. I was like, I had to do the lower GCSE paper for English, but everything else I did higher paper. So I never got tested because they're like, well, you're fine, but I'm like, I had to do a lot of coping mechanisms to get there. The way I learned how to spell is by watching TV and having the subtitles on. And if you'll remember like those old TV boxes that had like the video in, like from when we were younger, and like those old like text like subtitle things, that's how I learned how to spell. I can recognize the shape of a word, and I will know if I've spelled a word right or wrong simply by the shape of the word. But like that's one of my coping mechanisms on, you know, with my dyslexia. But again, nobody wanted to test me, and when that lady left, I stopped getting extra help. I then went to sixth form, and they did like a streamline trying to help people out. There I got blue overlays, and that was as much help as I got. I would sometimes get like unofficial extra time, but I couldn't really get official extra time. And some of my teachers in secondary school gave me unofficial extra time on my exams as well. I will love you forever for that. But yeah, and then I went to college when I went back into like, you know, the education system to do my access course, and there I got told in a letter, you're not dyslexic enough to get tested right away, it's like a 12-month wait. And I was there for 9 months. So that was not going to be helpful. Literally, it was by God's grace that I managed to get into university, and then literally the moment I got my acceptance, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? So this is going to be the start of the video. On my application I just said I have a learning disability and I have depression. Like I was blunt. I was like, these are the things. And I was like, I don't have anything to show for the learning disability. I did for the depression, but nothing for the learning disability. But I was like, I need testing. So I Googled, what do I need to do? I made sure I'd ask people when I went to like summer workshops before uni started. I went to those as well, because I wanted to like make sure I knew my way around the uni and everything. Yeah, so I was asking people, and like people were like, wow, usually student nurses or student midwives don't want to disclose because they're kind of scared that it might look badly on them. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I need help. But yeah, so I was very open and honest, and it's okay to be open and honest. I got through my whole entire degree by being open and honest about the things that I was going through, and I got the help that I needed, and now I'm a midwife and I've started my first ever job. Like I literally just had my induction day today. So yeah, like you will get there if you're open and honest as well, because there's no point of struggling because this course is hard enough. There's no point of struggling as well. So yeah, something that some people may not know is that all universities, like all universities in the UK, have extra funding for things such as extra like support you may need. They don't even just have extra funding, they have extra funding and extra services for things like support you may need for university, for like housing, for if you're in a hard time financially. Like they have all that stuff. You just need to go onto university website and look, or go to your student services office or like area and look there and ask, and they have everything you could probably need there. And if you can't find it there, go to your student union and ask your student union officers, and they can help you out and point you in the right direction as well. So for my university, what I might do is I might actually move here. I might like kind of show you like a screenshot here, a screen recording here of like where you need to go. But for my university, well, my old university, Kingston University, you had to go to the undergraduate section, then you scroll down and it says student services. You click on student services, and then you keep on scrolling, and it should say learning disabilities. It says disability and mental health support, so we click on that, and then it tells you like everything that they have available there, like the support that's available there. And one of the things that they will do is they will actually help you to do your disabled students allowance, so your DSA application, which will then pay for your testing. And then it like gives you like other things that they do. And another thing also that they do is they give you support for one-to-one tuition, which is actually helpful. Like even though like midwifery is such like a niche subject, when you have dyslexia, like at least for me, like it's not, I can understand the midwifery aspects of it, it's just writing the essay and like that stuff, and making sure I'm like doing it, you know, all academic, like that's what they helped me with so much. Like I love getting one-to-one tuition because they were so helpful. So yeah, so once you like do the DSA stuff, you go to university, just say I've decided to apply for DSA, or if you need help with it, they'll help you with that, and then they will say, okay, well this is how you need to then apply to get tested. Okay, so once you get tested, and you get your results back, they will send, I think they send a copy to uni anyway, but like I just sent one to my uni because I'm that type of person. I want to make sure that I've done it, so I know that they've definitely got it. But yeah, they will then tell you like how to then go about getting your summary of support needs. So SOS, like that's what we had at my uni, is your summary of support needs, and that tells you that says kind of what you need. So like from that report, it will take out like if you need extra time because your processing is a bit slower, or just try and find the words and write it out, that's a bit slower. It will say if you need extra time, it will say different adjustments. So for me, if I had like essays that were too close together, I could just apply for an extension and I would automatically get about a week or two extra in between those assessments. I'd get extra time in exams, which I actually use. I was so great at going to use that. And just little things like that, like I would automatically, like if I clicked for doing an extension, I can just type in see summary of support needs. I wouldn't have to write it out, I would just have to say see summary of support needs, and then they can't say no, because that's something that's legally, not legally, but kind of like, you know, it's ethical, legally bound, like, you know, it's there, I need it. Because what you have to realize is that offering everyone the same help doesn't help everyone. You need to sometimes give certain people a bit more help to give them that even playing field, and that's okay. And you have to like embrace that and be okay with that, because some people are ashamed of that and they don't ask for help. But like, how else are you gonna be able to do what you need to do if you don't get that extra help? So yeah, don't be embarrassed or ashamed, just go for it. So I got extra time, and then I got one-to-one tuition whenever I booked it with someone who would go through my essays / tell me how to write essays. So if I was stuck in starting an essay, they would kind of just tell me like, this is kind of like, I would tell them what I need to do, and I'll tell them like what I have in my head, and then they'll be like, okay, well, this is how you would structure it, or make sure you like do your point, explain it, expand it, like get your evidence in there, and then like, you know, conclude it. Like they would help me in that sense. And if there was like spelling mistakes, they would help me with that and all that stuff. Now, if you guys don't actually qualify for like extra support and stuff like that, most universities in their library department will have someone who can proofread your essay as well, so that's also another bonus about that. But yeah, so once you've done all that, your student life will get easier. Now, for those of you guys who are student midwives or student nurses, there are a lot of big words. Like, we should know there's a lot of complicated spelled words, or like, you know, there's a lot of big words in our profession. Something that I did is I kind of wrote out a list of words that I just always spell wrong, and I had that like on a little notepad with me, just so I could like always flip to it. Luckily I could have my phone quite pretty much everywhere I went, so I could like just quickly check up a spelling. But once you kind of repeat those words and you keep on spelling it loads and loads, you kind of just remember how to spell the words, or at least I did. I've now forgotten because it's been like 8-9 months since I was on placement, so I've got to do that all over again. But that's something that you guys can do, is just write those words down and have it, even if it's like a tiny word but it's just spelt so randomly. Like, English is weird at times. But yeah, like just have those words like tucked in, or just ask like someone that you're working with, like, oh, how do you spell this? Or just, if you're a student, just be like to your mentor, hi, I have dyslexia, I have bad spelling, or I process this way, or I learn this way, just that you've already like pre-told them, so in case they try and act funny with you, or like try and be like, why haven't you done this, or blah blah blah, you can just be like, I have dyslexia, it just takes me a little bit longer, but I will get there, and I will learn faster how to do stuff, like I will get there. But yeah, so that's everything for this video. My camera is literally dying, which is why I'm trying to rush it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, keep on being you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions or suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe to get weekly updates. Bye y'all.